How's it going? Aaron J. Moss here with the first installment of my new guitar lesson series. I'm really excited about this, and I hope you guys are too. Well, let's get started. Alright, in my last video, I asked you to leave a comment on what type of videos you want me to make, what type of lessons you would like to see, and so on. Well, Joshua Harris ended up leaving me a comment telling me he'd like me to make a video about modes. So here it is. I will try to make this as understandable as I possibly can. Before we get started, there are three things that I think you should know before we get started into the modes. These will help you understand this video a lot more and get a lot more out of it. First off, you should know every note on your guitar neck. How to find it, where it is, and exactly. You should be able to put your finger randomly on some spot and go, oh, well, that's that note, like right there. D. You know, you should know all the sharps, all the flats, and all the natural notes. So if you know all that, and you know your note theory, and how the notes repeat themselves, and everything else, and octaves, and how, you know, this note and this note are the same exact notes, then we can move on to number 2, which is you should know your C major scale. Which you should know your major scale, period, but I'm saying C major scale because that's what I'm playing in right now for this video, because C is the easiest thing to teach in, because it's all natural notes, no sharps, no flats. It's very easy to understand. So, you should be able to play your C major scale in all the 7 positions of the C major scale. You know, again, if you know your scales well enough, you know there are 7 positions, there are 7 notes, and 1 position per each note. So if I'm playing, you know, you hear people say, oh, I'm going to play C major in position 3, you know that's right here, because it's 1, 2, 3. It's the 3rd note of the C major scale, so that's position 3. So you put your first finger right there, and you play the scale. You have to change your fingering, because you can't just go like this. So you change your fingering to So, if you're following me so far, you know the 7 positions, you know all the notes. That brings us to number 3, keys. You should understand keys and how to change keys, so like you're writing a song. Alright, I just did 2 key changes there. I was playing 3 different keys. I was playing C, G, and then F. Same exact chord progression, just playing in a different key. So if you understand everything I've said so far, and you know all about it, then we're ready to continue. If you don't, it's okay. Watch this video all the way through. You may still get something out of it. But I would suggest after you get through, go look up some videos on everything I said, notes, how to memorize all the notes on the neck, your major scale, and how to play it anywhere, and keys, what are they and how to use them. So that's what you should be looking up, and then after you learn all that, then come back to this video, favorite this video or something, that way you can just come back to it and watch it again. Once you know all this, you'll get a lot more out of it. So, but if you know everything, let's continue. Alright, so we know all that. We know about the different positions. Let's get back to that for a second. You know, position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5, which I can also do down here. whoops. Position 6 and position 7, which leads us right back up to position 1 on the C. So if you know all those different positions, you can play them all the way across the neck and back. Well, then we're ready to learn about modes. Alright, so as I said, if you can play all of those, then here's the bombshell. You can already play modes. You're probably going, wait, I can't play modes, what is he talking about? It's as simple as this. As I say, you can play all those different positions, you can play the modes, because that's all modes really are. Now you take a second here, step back from this, and go, okay, modes and the proper names for the modes are just the proper names for those positions. Instead of saying position 1, position 2, back then, because modes came out when classical music dominated the world. You know, it was all composers and big orchestras and all that cool stuff. And modes, when modes came out, and they came out in different time periods, and you know, were combined and this and that. But they just, you know how they were. They didn't like just naming stuff simple, like, oh, this is position 1. They wanted to come up with a cool name that meant something like pentatonic, you know, and it's like, okay, that's penta, which means 5, and tonic tone, so it's a 5-tone scale, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, you can just say the 5-tone scale. That's how we would probably say it nowadays, you know, so that's it. But they came up with all these cool names, like, you probably heard this, legato, which is hammer-on pull-off, or vibrato, which is bending or vibration. Those are the proper names. Legato, vibrato. You know, you have all those cool kind of sounding stuff, and it makes you sound all slick, like you're this awesome musician. But you know, we just usually talk about them like normal stuff, like vibration, you know, hammer-ons and pull-offs, because it's kind of like slang. It's like a slang term for this stuff. Every technique, just about on the guitar and music, has a proper name, but it also has tons of slang names. So, and modes are no exception. As I said, it's positions and modes, it's the same thing. So, I'm going to put the names here as I say them. These are the 7 mode positions. Remember, 7 note positions, 7 mode positions. So let's get started. Okay. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, mixolydian, aeolian, locrian. And the easiest way to remember which one is which is what I just did with my hands. You know, that's a good thing to do. Once you memorize the names, do that. You know, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, mixolydian, aeolian, locrian, and just do that over and over again. Get it locked into your mind. It's important that you do the hands, because I'm going to put the names in the description box with the numbers, and I want you to copy and paste it into a text document or something, or just write it down on a piece of paper, pin it somewhere where you can see it, and just look at it. Just memorize it, because the names and the numbers coincide. And that's the easiest way, because if somebody comes up to you in a few months and goes, hey dude, can you play a Phrygian scale for me, or a Phrygian mode, or one of those cool Phrygian things, and you go, okay, well, which one's Phrygian? He goes, well, I'll do it in F sharp for me. And you're going to go, whoa, wait, and this is the reason why. Because, like I said, F sharp. Well, if you want to go, okay, F sharp, let's just take a step away from C for a minute. F sharp. Let's see. I know Phrygian is 3, because I can go Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian. So it's 3. So that means it's the 3rd position of whatever scale. The 3rd note. So I go F sharp. So I go right there. A sharp or B flat, which in this case is A sharp. So A sharp right there, that's my Phrygian position. So right there, you can just do that quick little thing I just did. I didn't prepare that, I didn't plan that, I just, right there you saw how that works. You have your numbers, you have it memorized, so you can easily figure out which one is which. A lot of people, when they teach modes, I've seen, they go, okay, well this is, you know, C ionian. Now that's good, and then they'll go D dorian, E phrygian. Now that's good, it really is. But it doesn't really help you when you're trying to learn in a different key. When you switch keys, you go, well, okay, ionian, okay, F sharp ionian, so you can do that. But then when you try to go, well, and then you have to figure out, you have to think and do all the math and everything. It's just a whole mess of work you don't have to do. It's easier just to number them 1 through 7, and you just remember like that. You just associate ionian position 1, dorian position 2, phrygian position 3, and so on, and you will get it memorized really quick. So that's about it for this lesson on modes. I hope it's helped. I hope I've made sense. And addressing Joshua Harris's last question on his comment, which is, what are my favorite mode positions? Well, I have 3 favorite positions. And they're the 3 minor mode positions, which is, my favorite is aeolian. My second favorite is phrygian. My third favorite is dorian. And the reason why I like those positions so much is because those are the 3 I learned originally. I learned aeolian, which I learned is also your minor scale. I learned that originally because I want to play all dark, doomy, gloomy music and really sad and express my feelings. And so I figured, well, if I play minor stuff, it'll all sound dark and gloomy and sad, which is not always the case. And then when I started learning arpeggios and stuff, then I started learning, well, hey, I can do a lot of pentatonic work. I learned you can do that in those 3 modes positions. This is before I even knew about modes. So you can just interchange them, you can stay in the same key and play with them, and it's fun. You can do all kinds of cool combinations with that. So, quick couple of little things at the end. Each mode has its own unique expression and its flavors and its style, so it's something you really should learn how to accentuate the proper notes to get them right. Each mode has its own kind of pluses and minuses, and each mode sounds good with some chords, but also sounds bad with other chords. Those are a couple things to keep in mind. Alright, that about wraps us up. This is Aaron J. Moss, and if this video has been helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave me a comment telling me what you think and what you would like to see in future videos. As always, have fun and rock on.